I feel good. I'm just feeling like the beginning is just starting. Just because we're here in the playoffs, I'm just excited to get to the postseason.
I would imagine you and your teammates are rather enjoying sitting at home and listening to all the talking heads talk about these games this weekend, knowing that you still have a little more time. Have you been paying much attention, or are you locked into other things?
Right. No, we've had a great week of prep on ourselves. We took this week an initiative to focus on ourselves, and whenever our opponent comes out on Friday, that's when we'll take the our game plan to schedule against them.
So I guess it's a pretty obvious question. You'll play the winner of the game Friday night in South Bend. Is it a safe assumption that you'll be watching the game?
Yeah, I'm always good to watch some good football. I know there's a lot of good football games, but of course I'll be tuning in for that game.
I mentioned the Butkus Award, and I'm well aware because we've been around Georgia so often that it's about the team and not individual awards. But when you did receive that the other day, take us through what went through your mind and how you were able to share it, especially with your family and teammates.
Right. It's what a great honor. I had the opportunity to win that award, but I knew the history behind that award as well. Being able to win and be the third Butkus Award winner in the past 8 years from the University of Georgia, it says a lot about the program, but it says a lot about how we treat linebackers here at the University of Georgia as well.
Jalon, you play for a lot of different coaches, but Kirby Smart is the head coach, and you know what position he played in college, and you know what the reputation he gained as a defensive coordinator. What's it like when you see him over there on the sidelines, and what's the relationship like with your head coach?
Right. I love Coach Smart. We kid and play all the time, but I mean, he's a great head coach. He's a guy that you want to play for. The passion and energy he brings every day at practice. It's hard not to have passion and energy just in the building. When you see the guy walk through the building, it's just like, okay, where he's bringing that juice and that energy for the day to set the tone off right.
Have you ever seen a video of him making that interception? I think it was at Peyton Manning. I mean, we've
Yeah,
we've,
in
we've showed it
Tennessee.
1,000 times. I can't imagine you've missed it.
Right. I've seen it the week of Tennessee we play. That's all we see on SC Network or ESPN leading up to the game of him picking off Peyton Manning.
I don't know. When I watch you play and him, is it my imagination? You just look a little faster.
Yeah, maybe a little faster, a little taller. We won't get too much into that, but
Anyway, I thought you had. I'm sure you'd seen that. Let me talk a little bit about your background. You come from North Carolina. Your dad was a coach, and that's such an interesting relationship, father and son, in any set of circumstances, but especially somebody who understands having played and coached the game that you're now excelling at. Tell us more about that.
right. I got the opportunity since a young age to be on that sideline with my dad. I felt like I knew what the camaraderie of a locker room was before I even really knew what it was. Now being here at college and being on the level of seeing what's going on, I just love the way that I was raised. My dad did a great job of letting football come to me and letting me embrace football and maybe fall in love with it for my own and myself, and which I did. Being there on the sideline for his games and watching his guys and making a relationship with his old players. It's just that's what you live for. So when the young guys or the young kids of our coaches come around, I just love to give back to them because I know the hardship of being a coach's kid, of them being on the road, of them always working. I just appreciate them as much as I can.
Jalen, growing up in North Carolina, I mean, you played a lot of sports, but I've got it on good authority that you were a pretty amazing basketball player as well. Take us back to those days when you were blocking shots with regularity.
Yeah, I was all right. I played basketball through middle school all the way up to high school, and I played for the AAU team, PSB Elite, which is now Team Curry. Play with a great amount of players that play college basketball now. Caleb Foster, Kate Tyson that goes to Duke, and Chapel Hill. Those two. I faced a lot of guys growing up and playing basketball, and of course blocking shots. Playing defense was my deal. Getting rebounds and blocking a couple shots. Free throws weren't my best attribute, but no, I made up for it on the defense side of the ball.
Listen, it's hard enough to watch you sack a quarterback, but I can't imagine being in the paint trying to get a position to go up for a rebound against you. What was it? I mean, I realize I'm asking the wrong person,
Right.
but how how threatening were you under the basket?
Right. If that ball touched the rim for a rebound, I was gonna go get it. That was my initiative. And then going to see a block, anything that went up in the air, I just wanted to get that ball out there, get the block shot. I think I ended uh, high school with like 130 something blocks throughout the course of my high school career.
Hmm. I don't want to see you in the basketball gym during the off season. Jalon, let's talk a little bit about. You mentioned the preparation, but there's still a little bit of time. You'll watch the game tomorrow. You'll find out whether it's Indiana or Notre Dame. But how are you and everyone on the Dogs managing? It's an unusual time of the year because there is a lot of time, which is important to recover a little bit. But it's unlike any other game during the season, other than the first, when you have so much time to wait.
Right. I feel like we're doing a great job, having our preparation for the Sugar Bowl. We've taken it day by day, getting our practice days in and of course, getting our preparation of recovery as well. But, I feel like our coaching staff is has a great plan for them to game plan for Notre Dame and Indiana because we don't know who will play until Friday night.
And Jalon, really, since the SEC championship game, all the media has been talking about is the quarterback situation. And I'm not asking you to comment specifically on Carson, but what was it like in the championship game when Gunner Stockton came in and you knew you didn't know very much because you knew you guys were going to have to amp it up a little bit to try to help out.
Yeah, I mean, when Gunner Stockton stepped on the field, I had no doubt. I came in with Gunner together as freshmen, and I always had confidence in him. He's played big time football because he sees it every day. I mean, he does a great job preparing himself mentally and physically of what he has to do for the game, and I feel like he'll be fine. I feel like our team will have Gunner's back no matter what happens, and I feel like we'll be put in the best position by him in offense.
We saw Kirby Smart recently when we were in Athens for the Tennessee game, and he was talking about the the ordeal, and he said he tried to prepare the team, knowing how difficult the schedule was. How was it week to week with so many menacing road games, home games against Tennessee, the Georgia Tech game? It seems like it's still playing on a loop in my mind. How physically, how difficult was this season for all of you?
Right. We had, I think, the strength of the number one schedule in college football. And I believe that we took the initiative of going week by week, moment by moment, as we did. We didn't look too far ahead of opponents and we didn't think about our trials or games in the past. I feel like we had the initiative of planning accordingly to each game and being successful when it comes down to Saturday.
Jalon, finally, we're all thinking about games this weekend and Christmas. Will you guys get a break at all, or is just preparation straight to New Orleans?
Right. We'll have the opportunity to go home and see our family before we'll take off to New Orleans on the 29th.
I doubt you've had a lot of time to do Christmas shopping. Hopefully, the family's helped you out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Santa Claus coming to town.
Well, you taking the big present, the trophy home as a present, or are you going to let somebody else handle that for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the trophy home back down to Salisbury to make sure the family sees it, especially my grandmother to get to see it. Got the opportunity to have my dad, my mom, and my brother to be there with me when I accepted the award. It's just a great opportunity for me to just spread the wealth throughout the family.
Something tells me that Grandma is a pretty proud woman of her young Georgia Bulldog. Tell us about her before you go.
Right, that both my grandmothers, they're tremendous women. They do a lot. Who raised my mom and raised my dad, and just great to have them around. They're just always good help and seeking. I seek advice. They've been through many moments, and they're always there for the comfort because life can be stressful, and their life does come fast, and they're there to just make me realize that I'm still Jalon, and I'm still their grandson.